Well, I just finished my most recent project. It looks like a small cherry bowl sitting inside of a little bit bigger cherry bowl. But is that what we're really looking at? Maybe not. Watch the video and see this process. It's really fun to do. Well, here's a piece of cherry I've had for over a year. Now I'm off on another tangent making something a little bit different. Never done it. Saw a picture of one. Want to give it a try. I'm going to get it on a worm screw and I'm going to round it up and we'll proceed from there. 750. Yeah, we're getting there. Okay, pretty good. Alright, I've got to think about a couple things right now. And I'll get all these chips cleaned up while I do it. Okay, for this to work, that actually has to be round, a true round. So I've cut a little template out. I just laid it out with some dividers and bandsawed down the middle of the line. I think that would be close enough. So now, I'll make this into a true round. I'm happy with that. I'm going to go ahead and sand it. Sand it in reverse. Pull it down a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and finish sanding this out. Get it as smooth as I can. And then we'll flip it around and cut the inside. Alright, we're all flipped around. I'm running almost 1100 RPMs. I'll finish flattening this out and we'll start hollowing it down to what I need for a wall. I have a 1-inch wall here and I want to make that as parallel as I can all the way down to the bottom. So we'll just have to take little cuts and check it. A little more at the beginning. Well, we're good down to there. We'll turn the corner, check it again. I'm going to go ahead and sand this. I'll start with 80 and go up to probably 400. I'm not going to put a finish on it. I know this doesn't look very exciting, but we have something different coming up. That's all I want to say. Stick around. I've never done it before. I'm hoping that I can succeed. It's going to be pretty cool. Just bear with me. Well, that cherry's plenty dry, I can tell you that. Alright, I'm going to hook up my dust collector, get this sanded, and I'll come back for the next step. Alright, it's all sanded up. I've put a couple lines on. This is where we have to be pretty precise with our measurements and our cutting. And you'll see why, but I have a line down here that's, I think it's almost 3/4. It can be 3/4, it could be 5/8. Once I cut it, I'll put a line on the outside and I'll try to explain what I'm doing. Let's start with this 5/8 bowl gouge. That's pretty close to being parallel to the outside. So I'm going to square this up, measure it, and we'll make our adjustments. Okay, it measures out virtually the same length this way. This is flat, corner sharp. I'm going to go ahead and sand this area because this is the last time I'll be able to sand this under power. Alright, moving on to the next step. Alright, it's reversed. I have them mounted in these coal jaws. I think it's the biggest set they have. I've been wanting some. I have the little set. They would never be able to mount that. Before I made the purchase, I had a little email chat with Gord Rock, who I know he uses these and has done a lot of reviews on things, and I asked him what he thought of them. He's very happy with his, and if he's happy with them, I trust that they're good. So I went ahead and got them, and I really like them. So if you're looking for, especially Nova, Gord does some excellent reviews on Nova products. So, back to what we're doing. I'm going to remove the tenon here, and I'm not leaving a flat spot. I will not be able to remount it over here. Let's cut this off and round it over, do a little sanding, then we'll move on to the next step. Lots of little steps here. That's the kind of projects I kind of like. I like all projects. They say not to go over 600, and I don't really have a reason to, other than that's a small diameter, and the faster you can spin it, the better off you are. But alright, now we can sand it. I'll start with 80. Okay, let's take this off. And if you remember, that's what that looks like. That was 13/16 deep. And that one's 1 5/8. So we should be good to go. Let me get my other block in here and I'll show you what we're doing. Okay, we're back. This is sort of a jam chuck. It's not really going to jam it in, but it's going to help locate it. This is going to fit into here. And I'll be able to twist this like that. That's the reason that wants to be almost a perfect sphere. Because as you rotate it, if it isn't, it's just not going to line up. So, I'm going to bring this up temporarily, and I have this on a ball bearing shaft that's going to let me lock it in place. So that's what we're doing. There's my pencil line there, and that just about hit it. I'm going to go ahead and get that lined up, locked into place. Alright, I kind of fiddled around with it, and here's the line. We're cutting all of this away, 1 5/8, and it comes around to this low spot where we should be cutting almost nothing on that edge. I'm going to hot glue in a number of spots. I don't want it shifting on me. Not at this point in time. Okay, we're ready. Anyone nervous? Why would anyone make a round bowl and then make it out around? That's what we got. We got to try to. We need to try to nibble that back to flat. Okay, well, let's give it a go. Definitely get my face shield. And you cannot be in a hurry, I can tell you that. Okay, I've got about 5/16 to get to my line. I think I'll get that on there. And I'm going to slowly take this away. So I think that I'm going to use this square carbide just to get that new shoulder established. So we're almost there. Put a little more line on that. That's how much that I need to remove there. And I'm down to kind of a paper thin edge here. Here's my wall. And that wall's going to be down there, so it's looking pretty good. These are what I call sneak up on them cuts. Okay, I'm just going to take some real light cuts and we'll be sanding these little edges off. I think it is really close. Just go ahead and go over this with some sandpaper while I can turn it instead of trying to hang on to it. I got it out. What do you think? You can see what's going on in there, but it's a bowl in a bowl. So I've got all the edges sanded up, and I've decided I'm going to use shellac on this. I'm not going to be able to spin it in the lathe anymore, but you can wipe shellac on pretty nice. I'm using the shellac-based sanding sealer now. Okay. See you when this is all done. Okay, it's all done. A bowl in a bowl. It's made from cherry. I think it turned out pretty nice. I will say there's a lot of steps that must be done in order to end up with this, but I will also say that they're not that hard, and it makes a very, very unique and interesting turning. It ended up 7 inches in diameter, and at the tallest point was 3 1/4, and of course it doesn't have a base on it, and if it did, it would sit like that, which might look good, but I think it works out just fine like that. I started with using shellac, and that's what I was going to finish it with, but I switched to using spray-on lacquer, and I just found that it was easier to do, and I think it looks good. So that's it. It's a fun project. Not that hard. Hope you enjoyed it. I'd like to thank everyone for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And a special thanks to all my subscribers. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. If you're new to my channel and you feel so inclined, please consider subscribing. Thanks again, and until the next time, I'll see you later.